Hello all, welcome to our course on Introduction to Adobe Firefly. So Adobe Firefly is a generative AI tool that is developed by Adobe to help users create high quality visual content with ease. It basically allows you to generate images, text effects, and design elements simply by entering a text prompt, like how you give a prompt to ChatGPT likewise. So Firefly is integrated into the popular Adobe apps like Photoshop and Illustrator, making it easy for both professionals as well as beginners to enhance their creative work. So the tool is designed to be user-friendly, providing creative control while speeding up the design process. So in this course, I will be giving you an overview of Adobe Firefly where we'll start with, all the features that Adobe Firefly provides us with. We'll talk about each and every option in detail, and then we'll see how to generate images with AI, with prompts, how to do generative fill with AI, how to expand, how to create a scene to an image, how to, design the text effects, how to generate templates and edit it, and so on. So let's get started with the course. So basically, this is the homepage of Adobe Firefly. So either you can directly sign into Adobe Firefly. So I've signed in over here, or you can also sign into the Creative Cloud and navigate to Adobe Firefly. So as you can see, we can go one by one. As you can see here, they have, you can give a prompt of what picture you would like to generate. So we'll see about it later. So here are some options, as you can see: featured, image, video, audio, and vector. So let's go one by one. So first, let's go to the image section. So in the image section, first you have the text to fill option. So basically, the text to image feature in Adobe Firefly lets you generate high quality images just by typing a description. So you can just enter a prompt, any prompt, for example, a sunset over a mountain range in watercolor style or anything. And Firefly actually creates a visual based on your input. It's a fast and easy way to bring your ideas to life without needing any drawing or design skill. You can also customize your output by adjusting the styles, color tones, aspect ratios, and more. We'll be seeing more about each of these in detail in the upcoming chapters. Right now, I'm just giving you an overview. So whether you're creating visuals for a project, for your social media, or just exploring ideas, this feature will definitely help you generate unique and eye-catching images in just a few seconds. And then we have the generative fill option, as you can see here. So the generative fill option here allows you to add, remove, or replace parts of an image using just a text prompt. So you can simply select the area you want to edit, and you can just type what you would like to see over there. So Firefly then automatically will blend the new content into the image, keeping the style and lighting consistent. So this is a very advanced feature which is quite helpful. So I will also be showing you the generative fill in the web version of the Photoshop. Then we have the scene to image feature, which is a new feature in the beta version. So in scene to image feature, we basically create 3D scenes. We can actually create 3D scenes, and we can keep it as a reference for generating new images. Like after creating the 3D scene, we'll be giving it some prompts of what to create, and it will create the image according to the 3D reference that we have given. This is also quite new feature. We'll be seeing about this also. And then here you have the generative expand feature. So the generative expand feature lets you extend the edges of an image by generating new content that blends naturally with the original image. So for example, if you have a square image but want it to be wider or taller, so you can use this feature to fill in the extra space with realistic and matching details. So you just have to drag the crop handles outward, and Firefly will actually generate what could logically appear in those extended areas. So it's a very useful tool for changing image dimensions, creating backgrounds, or adjusting layouts. And then here you have the text effects. So the text effect feature in Adobe Firefly basically lets you turn your plain text into eye-catching and stylized designs using just a prompt. So you just have to type a word or phrase you want and then describe the style. So like for example, you want to write flowers, the word flowers, and you want the FLOW, each of the letters in the form of flowers. So you can, just prompt it and Firefly will generate the text with that creative effect applied. You can also choose different fonts, adjust the look, and instantly see unique results. So it's perfect for creating logos, posters, and creating social media posts or anything. And finally, in the image options, we have the generate template feature. So this feature helps you quickly generate ready-to-use design templates for things like social media posts, flyers, posters, and more. So you just have to enter short description like, I need a modern travel Instagram post or a clean business flyer. And Firefly will generate a complete template layout with text, images, and design elements. So these templates are customizable also. You can edit it, so you can easily change the color, fonts, and content to match your style or your idea. So it's a very fast and easy way to get professional looking designs without having to start from scratch. So now let's go to the video option over here and see what it has to offer us. Now in the video section, we have the text to video feature, which is basically like text to image. Here you just have to give the prompt and it will actually, create a video out of your prompt. These all are new features. These three are new features, which is only available, which will only work for the beta users. And then you have the image to video where you can give, upload a reference image, give a certain prompt and create a video out of it. And then you have translate video where you can upload any video and you can, it will detect the source language and you can give the translate language, the language to which you have to translate, and then it will translate your whole video, which I think is a pretty cool feature. And then you have two features which are coming soon. One is text to avatar where you can, create avatars based on your text prompt, and then there's a feature where you can enhance your speech, which means basically you can remove the noise and improve the audio quality. Again, you have the audio feature where you have these text to sound effects, translate audio and everything, videos to sound effects. Finally, you have the vector. So this is basically done in Illustrator, Adobe Illustrator, where you can actually give a prompt and create a vector image. Vector image will basically be in SVG format. So you can create a vector image out of your text prompts, and also you can do generative recolor. So these are some of the features that, Adobe Firefly provides us with. And there are so many options over here. For example, if you go here, you can submit an idea. Let's just see what it is. So this is where you can, create a post in Adobe Firefly community. So you can write the subject and you can, set the tone or set the subject of what you want to converse about. Is it a discussion or is it a bug? Whether you want to report a technical issue that you're facing while using Adobe Firefly, or do you want to share some ideas, some unique idea or app improvements? And then you can write the details. You can also upload some of the attachments if you would like to, and you can submit your post. Then you have a report a bug option, which we saw earlier, and then you have the join the Firefly community. So this is actually, a one-stop destination for all the creative minds. So here, as you can see, there are posts, there are weekly challenges that you can take up, and then you can also learn from experts. The experts actually give you classes. They upload the videos, tips and tricks, and you can actually go through it to perfect your designs and so on. And then over here you have the what's new option. So basically you can explore what's new in Adobe Firefly. So yeah, so now let's go to the about option where you can get an idea about Adobe Firefly, all the features and everything. They have a detailed explanation for whatever I had explained you earlier, so you can go through this about it. Also, these are the features, we have already talked about it earlier. And then you can also check out their plans. Yeah, you have Firefly Standard, Firefly Pro, Firefly Premium, and then you have the Creative Cloud All Apps. So basically we are having the paid version of this. We are working on Creative Cloud All Apps. And here you have the file section where you will, get the generated history, the history of the, images you have generated, the work you have done and everything. And then you have the gallery over here. So basically this gallery is where these are already, images created by people. So you can actually take inspiration from this. For example, they have already given what the prompt is. For example, the prompt given to generate this particular image is a cute, tiny, psychedelic lovebird, 4K hyper details. So they have also given the creator's name. You can like it if you want so that it will be in your favorites list. You can view it. So these are some of the, beautiful creations. So you can take inspirations from this if you're using this for the first time. For example, let's just view this first image. So as you can see, first you can, take reference of the prompt that they had given to generate this particular image. So here they have given the prompt side view. So we need the side view of a shiny gold baby lion. We need the dogwood tree with yellow flowers, stylized pen and ink illustration, gold, yellow and gray shades, black glitch background. So this was the prompt given to generate this particular image. Now the left hand side you can see the general settings. So we'll just tweak some of the settings here and there to see how it changes this particular image. So we'll just keep the prompt as it is. So as you can see here, we are in Firefly Image 3 model. We also have the older version, which is Firefly Image 2. Then we have the aspect ratio. Right now it is in the portrait mode. We have the landscape, square, widescreen. So for example, let's select landscape for now. Again, we have two content tab. One is art and photo. So here they have already, switched on the auto generation. So if we switch off the auto generation, we can select either one. So I think this is more of an art. So let me just select photo and let's see, what it generates. And then you have the composition. So in composition, basically you can actually, give a reference image. Like for example, if you have, you can also give a prompt along with that. If you have an image that you would like it to refer from, you can actually upload the reference image from here. Either you can upload from here or you can browse from your own gallery and upload it from your device. And then you have the style feature where you have the visual intensity. So visual intensity is basically, the measure of how well you want your generated image to comply with your reference image that you have given, right? So if you want it to have a strong reference, you can increase the visual intensity or you can decrease it and so on. And then you have effects over here where you get a wide range of effects. So some of the popular effects are bokeh effect, layered effect, synth wave, hyper realistic. There is digital art, there is painting. And then in the movements also you have so many effects. You have fantasy, cyberpunk, you have glitch art, you have minimalism, you have science fiction. And then there are themes where you can get a 3D image, or if you want it in anime style, a cartoon style, also in a comic book style, if you want concept art. And then there are techniques. Suppose if you want it in an acrylic paint style or a color shift art. And then you have effects. You have materials over here. Whether you want 3D patterns, you want fur, you want marble effect or anything. So there are so many, effects. So let me just select one effect to tweak this image. So let me check. Maybe I'll go with minimalism because I mentioned that I need a photo, so let's keep it minimalism. And then you have a color tone where you can tweak the color tone to black and white, cool tone, golden, monochromatic, muted color, pastel, toned image. So let me just keep it warm tone for now. And then you also have the camera angle. Actually, do you want a close-up shot from above? So let's just keep shot from above. And let's see how I'm not really sure how it will work out, but let's just check it. So we have done some tweaks. Now let's just try this prompt. So as you can see, it created 4 variations of the image. So basically when you generate a prompt, it firstly gives you 4 different images, and you can select from those. As you can see, it's not exactly like what I expected. Of course, like it is given as it looks like a photo. Not entirely, but still, yeah. Like comparing to the previous image that we saw, rather than art, it looks like a photo, but then it has not actually, complied with the shot from above, property that we had given. But then it has, created it minimalistic. As you remember, the old photo that we saw was, too much actually. There was a big tree, there were so many elements in the pic, but here the elements are very minimalistic, and that's because we had chosen minimalism. And then it has a warm tone and everything. So yeah, this is how you can actually, play around to take inspirations from the gallery. So this was just for getting you started. So now in the next chapter, we'll see in detail about how to generate image from text. In this chapter, we'll see how to generate images with a given prompt. So let's just give a prompt like a dog and a cat playing in a garden. I want it as image, so let's generate. So as you can see, I have got these 4 variations. So maybe I will select the second one. Let's select this. Yeah. So again, if you want, you can open it in Photoshop Web. You can upscale it. You can also download it. So right now, let's just go to the edit option. Now, as you can see, the edit option, there are so many features like generate video, generate to fill, generate similar. If you want more similar images, you can use as a comparison reference. You can download it and use it for comparison. You can use it as style reference, you can create a design, you can add text and so on. So let's start with the generative fill option. So as you can see, in generative fill, we have these many options: insert, remove, expand, and pan. Pan is basically nothing. If you select that, you can just, move around your image. That is pan. You can insert something. So let's just start with the insert feature. So as you can see, either you can add something and then, insert an image, or you can subtract something and in that place you can insert something. But let's just add. Maybe I want to add a small ball over here, somewhere over here. So add, let me just, decrease the brush size to somewhere over here. Brush hardness, let it be 50%. Brush opacity, let it be 100. Brush size, maybe something less. Yeah, okay. Maybe here I want a ball, a small ball. As you can see, you can enter the prompt, a red color, maybe a rubber ball. Sorry, ball. So let's see the generated image. So they have again given 3 variations of the ball. It seems kind of a heart shape because maybe it was because that I've selected the area like that. And if you're not satisfied with something, you can generate more. So as you can see, I generated more, and again I got 3 variations. So you can check which variation you would like to go with. I think this is more natural, so I'll go with the first option itself. So now let's see how to remove an image. For that, I've gone to the remove option over here. Let's just select the probe to remove. So I just want to remove the cat from here. So let's just shade the cat. Just make sure that you do it properly so that you get the best results. So now let me try removing it. So as you can see, it has removed the cat over here, and again it has created 3 variations. But as you can see here, there is a small a shadow of the cat. Like even if it has removed it, there is a small outline of the cat. So let's just check out this. Yeah, I think this variation is pretty good. And then you have the third variation. Third variation also, I can slightly see an outline. So I think the second variation is, better. So, you can keep on prompting. You can keep on making it better because, it's AI. It gets better and better. So if you're not satisfied with, the first 3 variations, you can always generate it more. Or if you feel that, you want to reselect the areas. If your selection has gone wrong somewhere, and if you want to reselect the areas, you can always cancel it and again, select and again generate. So that's not an issue. So I think as of now, the second picture is pretty decent. So yeah, so this is how you could, remove an image. Right now, let me just cancel it because I need the cat. And let me just, reset it. Now let's move on to the expand option. Yeah. So again, when you go to the expand option, there are so many options down here, whether you need it in freeform in the sense, you can just drag it in any direction you want. And then you have the square option, you have the landscape, you have the widescreen option, you have the portrait, and so on. If you go to freeform, again, you can give your desired width and height that you would like the picture to be in. I think right now we'll just keep it landscape. I think this would be fine. And now I just want to, generate this part. Okay, I have expanded the picture in 4:3 ratio, and I just want to expand this part. So right now, let's just not give the prompt. We'll just hit generate and let's see what happens. We'll just hit generate. And yes, as you can see, it has actually expanded our image. And look at the details that it has provided. Look at the details. Because they have maintained the shadow over here because the sunlight is coming from there. So they have maintained the shadow over here. And they have given the textures, like the green textures according to that, keeping the shadow in mind, which is pretty cool. Let's just check out the second picture. Second picture is also fine, but there is no much gradients over here because they have maintained the same color. They haven't given much importance to the shadow like they have done in the first picture. Now let me see this. Okay, I think the second picture is not, yeah, it's fine. But again, keeping in mind that the sunlight is from there, I think the first picture is, pretty perfect, I must say. So this is how basically you expand. As you saw, it's very easy. You did not even have to give a prompt. Of course, you can give a prompt if you want to include something else, right? If you want to include something else which is there in your mind, you could have given a prompt that, I need to expand this with this scene or something like that. But So even without the prompt, it actually sends the whole image, the background of the image, and also the depth of the image, and created the background, which is pretty cool. So next, let's see how we can, select the background and change the background. So let's just see that. For now, I think we can just cancel it. So for working with backgrounds, you have to go back to the remove option. We'll go to the remove option. We'll select the background, and let's just give the remove option. So as you can see, it has generated very, out of the box image. As you can see, it has nothing to do with the image that's there. And this is where you have to, prompt it properly. So let's just prompt it. So to add the prompt, you have to go to the insert option. So as you can see, it's already selected. The background is selected. And we'll give a prompt such as, we'll just give a sunny beach. Let's just see how well it generates. As you can see, it has changed the background, which is pretty cool. Let me just look at the variations. Yeah, this is also fine. This doesn't look that natural. So I think this is better. This looks natural, right? Compared to this. This is also fine, but I think I'll go with the first one. So this is how you could, easily, how easy was that? You did not have to do any work. You just had to select the background. In fact, you did not even had to use a brush. You just had to select the background, and then you just have to give a prompt, a sunny beach, and there it is. The background is completely changed. And the best part is it tries to match with the pixels, or, the clarity with the image, with your image also. So as you can see, while generating, it also tries to match the pixels or, the depth of your image, so that it blends really well. Of course, you can tweak it more if you really want it. You can also give a prompt, that it should not be this blurry. Like for example, this is kind of blurry. So you could also give a prompt that it should not be blurry or anything like that, and you can keep on generating. So as you can see, these were some of the things that you could do with generative fill. Now in the next chapter, we'll just see how to create a scene to the image. Okay, so this is scene to image, which is in beta version. So this is something new, so we are not sure how well it works. So basically it's nothing, you just create a 3D image, okay, and then you give a prompt. So taking that 3D image as reference, it will generate an image. So let's just see, suppose if I want to create a puppy, let's just take a very simple example. Let me first delete these objects because I don't need this now. So for example, as you can see, these are the options. This is the arrow mark to select a certain object. Then you have edit shape option. You can align the objects. You can write text. You can turn around the object. You have the pan hand to move around the object. So these are the shapes where you can find different kinds of shapes. As you can see, all these shapes are 3D. It's not circle, rectangle or anything. It's cube, cuboid, a capsule, not a cylinder. Capsule, sphere, and so on. So for example, let me just select sphere, and I'm trying to imagine this as the face of the dog. Let me just select the shape and just a second. Okay, I went to edit shape by mistake. Okay, so I've kept it over here. Now for ears, maybe I doesn't want much flappy ears. I want cute small ears. So for that, let me just take the capsule. Let's see how it works. I'm just trying out. I think this is fine. Now let me just select and bring it somewhere over here. Yeah, so I'll do this once again for the second ear. Yeah, let me select this and bring it somewhere over here. Just a second. Yeah, I think that is fine. Yep. Now for the body, maybe we'll give the cylinder. Yeah, now let's just select it. We're just trying it out. Just keep it somewhere over here. Let's see what it generates out of this. We'll just give a prompt and let's just give dog. Let's see what it generates. Okay, so as you can see, this is what it generated out of my reference. So as you can see, there are 4 generations. Maybe you can just imagine this as a some showpiece, a dog face showpiece or something like that. So it has given us 4 variations. This looks very weird. Okay, it has actually tried to include the body, but it looks very bad. Then there is this option, which I don't understand what it is. I think this is also pretty cute. Okay, so see, I just gave the images. It actually doesn't look like a dog. It's just 2 capsules, 1 sphere and 1 cylinder. So the thing is, it tried its best to figure out how to fit in a dog's image in this particular 3D format, and it has actually come up with this. So the thing is, with better drawing and better usage of these 3D images, you can actually, create a base and give a prompt. And the thing is, it actually creates the image according to the 3D image or 3D reference that you have provided. So we'll just try one more image. Okay, so now let us try to give it something more challenging. As I told you, this is a new feature of Adobe Firefly. So it's still in its, refining stage. So we can't expect perfect output, but still, yeah, let's see. So maybe I want a man holding an umbrella on a rainy day or something like that. So let me just try. I'm not sure how well this will work out, but for raindrops, maybe I can, portray it with this. Just a second. Yeah. These are raindrops. I can just, tilt it this way. Yeah. And maybe for the man, I would use a cylinder or a capsule. I think I'll go with capsule. I hope it detects this as a man. Let me just select the shape and just a second. I don't know why it's going to edit. Just a second. Yeah, I was able to bring it to the center. Now for the umbrella, maybe for the umbrella placement, it'll just look at the placement. We'll take a cone. Let's try the cone. Just a second. Edit. Let's just place this at the center. Just a second. Yes, we have placed this at the center. Now let's just see what it generates. So man, I'll just give a prompt. A man holding umbrella on a rainy day. I'm not pretty sure if it will detect this as rain, but anyways, let's try. So as you can see, I just tweaked the shape of this a bit, and this is the generated image. I just don't know why this guy is holding the umbrella. So this is the first image. This is the second image, which is okay, but still the person is out of the umbrella. This is the third picture. I think this is pretty decent. See, it has actually taken this. The thing is, it has actually taken reference from a 3D image. So it has actually provided rain, and it has actually kept lamps, street lights for these positions. So, and it has detected this as an umbrella, and the person is standing over here. He also has a bag over here. So I think they actually took this as a bag. So now this is the fourth image. So as you can see, the first image was a blunder. Second image was fine. The fourth image also, see, the bag is in front of that person, which I don't think makes sense. But as you can see, the third image is pretty decent, where the bag is detected and it is on the back of the person. It has street lights, it has, umbrella, everything. So this pic is pretty decent. So I think we can go with this pic. So as you can see, you can just play around this feature. This is a new feature. It's not that perfect as you saw with the results. But again, this is going to be a really great feature, because you can, just like when you give a prompt, for example, a dog playing with the cat, it generates by itself. Like it depends where the dog will be placed, where the cat will be placed. But for example, with this particular tool, you can actually give the placements and then generate the image. So it will generate the image keeping in mind, taking your reference as the positions. So this is a very great tool. Now in the next chapter, we'll see how to create or generate text effects. So now let's just see how to create text effects. So this basically takes us to the Adobe Express. So Adobe Express, formerly it was known as Adobe Spark. So Adobe Express is a free and easy to use design tool, which is of course from Adobe, that helps you create social media graphics. You can create short videos, flyers, or logos, presentations, and many more without needing advanced design skills. So it's very perfect for students, for small business owners, content creators, marketers, or anyone who wants to make great looking content quickly. So basically with Adobe Express, you can design Instagram posts, stories, and YouTube thumbnails, flyers, resumes. You can make simple videos, animations, music. You can remove background from photos and many more. You can also, access thousands of ready-made templates and work on it. And you also would get Adobe fonts and royalty-free stock images. So we'll see all that. So first, we were talking about how to create text effects. So for that, as you can see in your left side menu bar, you have all these options like search, your stuff, where basically you can see your files, like your previous files, projects and everything. And then here you can create a brand, you can upload your files, you can create templates, you can create media, and you can add text, elements, charts and grids. Again, you have generative AI, you can add icons and many more. So first you have to go to add text. As you can see here, you'll get an option, generate text effects. So you can go to that. So here you can find so many text effects. Now suppose if you want to generate by your own, what you can do is you can first add a text. Maybe I would add something like popcorn. Let me just, and here as you can see there are different types of layouts, right? You have this layout, you have the circular layout, you have the arch, bow and everything. So maybe I will take arch. Yeah, let me just increase the size. Maybe I can keep this somewhere in between. And then you can, select the font that you want. Right now it's in Source Sans 3 regular. Go with any font. Maybe I'll go with this April Fat Face. I think this looks better, right? Again, you can make it italic or something. I'll keep it regular. These all are fine. You can change the color, everything. So once you edit, you can go to effects. Now, as you can see, so these are generate text effects. First, you can just view all. So right now, you have so many options. As you can see, there are so many options. You have the reflective option, you have the natural option, you have the abstract. There are so many designs. But see, my thought or my idea is to create this popcorn, to design this popcorn letters with popcorns, right? So let me just click create your own. So tell us what you want it to look like. So try describing a texture. So I will just type popcorn itself. Let me see if it will work out. Let's hit generate. Okay, so as you can see, it has actually generated the word popcorn with popcorns. Let me just zoom in a bit. How cool was that? How cool? How easy was it? That's the thing. So again, they have given you 4 results. You can go with this. I think this has a shadowy effect. You can go with this. If you're not happy, you can still generate more. So let's just stick on to the first one. You can also hit generate more if you want it. Now we'll just go to the effects. And you can give this effect, like do you need, right now we haven't given any effect, or if you want a lift effect. Yeah, but I think this is too much. Let me try strong. It's fine. Or hazy. Again, you can actually, change the color of the shadow. Okay, these are the recommended colors. Let's just try. This is black. How about yellow? So let me just check for more colors. I think this is pretty decent because it actually blends well, this particular color, this particular shade. So as you can see, it was a pretty normal text, but we converted it like this in just a few seconds, right? So as you can see, this is pretty helpful if you want to, create a poster or a logo or something. Like for example, let's just try creating a logo. Suppose if you're having a gold company and your logo is G, let's see, G. So let's just write the text. Let me just write G. Sorry, capital G. And there's the edit option. Let me just, the font size is increased. We'll change it to something like this. We will just try, not sure, we'll just try. And for effects, I think we can try gold chain. I mean, I don't know if it works. Gold chain, let's see. Yeah, so it gave something like this. As you can see, it's not that great. There are again 4 variations. I think this one is a bit better. Or maybe let's just try gold, thin gold chain. That might work. Let's generate. Okay, now it provided something like this. I think this is pretty fine, right? This is pretty good. So as you saw, there are so many options. You can take plenty of your time and play around and, discover good designs or make good designs. So the thing is, you did not have to, design anything like manually. You just had to give a prompt saying how you would like to see your letter, and it just gave you. So these are some of the features of text effects. So maybe you can also give a background for this. So you can just go to, generate image. You want the landscape. We'll just type a bluish background. Let's see what type we needed art. Let's see. So as you can see, it has given us 3 variations. Let us just work with this. So I will just fit in. Okay, just a second. I think this is fine. Now these are our layers. So basically this layer is above this. So let me just resize the layer. So I know this is not pretty good, but yeah, it's fine. So this is how actually you create backgrounds. You generate backgrounds with it. So this is how you can, maybe design a flyer or, design a logo. So next, let's see how to make use of the generative templates. So also in this chapter, we'll see how to generate templates. This will also take us to Adobe Express. So here I can just generate the template. Here you have options, whether you want an Instagram square post, a Facebook post, a flyer, poster. Do you need a card, Instagram story, YouTube thumbnail, ad, Facebook ad, or Instagram ad? So maybe I need a flyer for now. So let's just go to flyer and flyer for an upcoming yoga class. Yeah, yoga class. So let's generate. So as you can see, they have given you 4 outputs. They have generated 4 results. You can also generate more results if you want. So I think this is better. Let's see the variations. You can just select one particular pic and look for more variations of the same type. This might take some time. So as you can see, we had chosen a particular template style and now it gave different variations of the same style. As you can see, all the primary things are located at the same positions over here. Maybe I can go with this. We will just try. Let's just select this. So as you can see, we have got the template in the editable format. These are the layers. These are the different, just a second. Yeah, these are the different layers. So as you can see, you can tweak each and every. Okay, maybe you can change to something like this. I think this is more cool. You can change the styles, or I think the first one was fine. Yeah, something like this. And you can also change the font size, the color, the layout, like this. This doesn't look good. So I was just walking you through the options. Next, as you saw in the previous chapter about the text effects, you can also change the effects if needed. And you can do all these things. You can change the color of the background. Suppose if I want to change the color of the background, let me just select this. Background color, maybe we can keep something like this. This would be fine. You can also change the theme. So these are some of the bold. You have different variations like bold. You have classic. I think classic suits better. Then you have professional. So it depends on what kind of flyer or what kind of template you are designing for. Like for example, this particular template is for yoga class, right? So something like this would be better, or I think something like this would be better because it's very soothing. But if you are making something for a play school, for example, some kids play school or something like that, then these kind of color combinations would be more attractive. So you have to choose the color theme on the basis of what you are promoting, on the basis of what kind of business or whatever you are designing. So for now, let me just keep this like this. We have the yoga mat over here, but then there's no one doing any yoga pose. So maybe we can try to add an image or something. Let's just try. So as you can see here, you can add photos, videos, or music. So let's just go to media and you can generate an image. So let me try generating an image. Square. Let's just give lady do yoga. Let's hit generate. So I got this as my generated image because I had selected the photo option, a lady doing yoga, and this is what I got. Now let's just change the color so that it must suit with this. So maybe I can go with something golden art. I think this suits with this background. Now the thing is, I just want this lady, right? I don't want this background because I already have the background with me, and my idea is to just place this lady over here in this mat. So let's go to the edit option, and as you can see, there is remove background over here. So let's try removing the background. Yes, this is pretty cool. So now let's just try placing this lady over here. Just a second. I want this lady in this mat. It kind of looks weird, but yeah. So you can go with other options, other images. If this image isn't that good, you can go with other images too. So there are plenty of images. You just have to, you can also go to media and type for yoga pose and you'll get, plenty of yoga photos like this. Or maybe let me just try this particular pic. The background, wait. Let's remove the background. Okay, let me just delete this lady over here. Kind of looks better. Yes, this kind of looks better. Again, you can try to match the color by just selecting the image. You can go to effects. You can try out different options. I think, see, this was better than kind of, it looked as if it's, so this color kind of stood out, but this golden hour kind of matches with the background. You can also try different colors. I think this is the best. Now if you want to add some few elements, you can go to elements and just type what kind of elements you want. Here also you'll get free backgrounds if you want to change the background again. You have shapes, you have icons if you want to add some icons for your this thing. For example, this kind of looks good. So maybe if I want to add an icon, something like this somewhere, for example, here, this kind of looks aesthetic. So this is how you can, play around and try out different elements. There are so many options over here. So take time and you can take time and unleash your creativity. So this is how, this was just a basic of how you could actually, search for a template and edit a template. So in the next chapter, we would be diving into some of the AI features in the Photoshop. We would be working in the web mode. Hi all, welcome to the next chapter where we will be working with some of the AI features in Photoshop in the web mode. So as you can see right now, there's a generated image with text description or prompt in Photoshop. For now, let's just upload an image and let's again see the adding and removal of the objects. Like what difference does it make with AI? So for that, let me just upload a file. So as you can see here, there's generative fill, generative expand, generate image. So for time being, let me just try to, remove this object. Okay. So for that, let me go and select. Now again, there are so many types of selection over here. There is subject select, right? Where the Photoshop has detected different subjects. So you can just, select some particular subject over here. These are the subjects. You can do object selection, make quick selection. Quick selection is where you just have to draw something. Yeah, you will draw something. Okay, so I've decided to work with the, Photoshop app because there are some limitations in the, browser version, the web version, because, for example, generative fill won't work at times. So, that's the problem while working online with these tools. So anyways, I've decided to work in the Photoshop app. So as you can see, I have just drag and drop this image. So we have so many subjects over here, right? Too many objects over here. So basically, firstly, I'm just going to, show you the difference between the content aware fill, which is already there from Photoshop from a long time. The difference between content aware fill and the, AI generative fill. So we'll just compare the both of them. So first, I'm planning to select this lady as my subject. So for that here, let's go to the lasso tool. Let me just draw the outline. So you should also make sure that, the outline you draw also does justice. So yeah. And here you have generative fill. You can go there. I don't think you should give any prompt because the prompt is totally optional. I just want to remove it. So let's just try the generative fill without the prompt. It will take some time. As you can see, it perfectly removed the lady from the image. It has correctly, regenerated the zebra crossing, the lady. Like I had also selected this part of this lady's leg also, while drawing the outline. But then correctly detected my subject and it only removed my subject. Everything is intact. So once you see this pic, you would never believe that there was a lady. There was a walking lady over here, right? Now let's see how it would have generated if we had given the content aware fill. So let me just undo it. So this is when you do the generative fill. Let me just undo it. Let me bring my subject back. Before that, one more thing. As you can see, there are 3 variations over here. This is the first variation. This is the second variation. This is the second variation. And this is the third variation. So as you can see, we already saw the first variation. The second variation also has a detailed shadow over here, which was missing in this particular pic. So yeah, so according to which is perfect, you can select it. Now let's just try the content aware fill. So yeah, I have brought my subject back. Now let me just, draw the outline again. Again, be careful while you are drawing the outline. This is the same way I had drawn the outline for the previous demo also. So now let's just go to edit over here. Let's try the generative fill. So let me just check for the via my rectangle mode. Okay. So let me draw it once again. Let me go to edit. As you can see, the content aware fill is disabled, and that is because it actually doesn't even Photoshop doesn't recognize this lady as a subject itself, as a separate subject itself. So basically, if this AI tool wasn't there, we couldn't have filled that space basically. But then I'll show you how content aware fill works on some other file. For example, this file. I'll just select the subject. Let me just see first if it recognizes the subject. Yes, it recognizes the subject. So maybe I will select this particular person. Let me just go to edit and do the content aware fill. So this is a preview of what content aware fill would have done to this image. So as you can see, it has actually filled it with something, but it's not appropriate at all, right? There is so much distortion and so much confusion over here. But in the previous photo where we actually did a generative fill, it was quite neat. You could not even guess if a person was there earlier, right? So now let me try doing a generative fill for this. Let's see. You already saw a preview of what content aware fill could have done to this image, and it was not at all clean. But let's try with the generative fill. Where is it? Yes, we just have to generate. We don't have to give any prompt. It will take some time. Let's wait. So this is what generative fill has done. As you can see, again they have given 3 variations, and here as you can see, behind they have generated the whole tree and everything is like more perfect than the content aware fill. So now let's see how to add some objects or images using generative fill in Photoshop. So maybe this guy looks fit, so maybe I just want a gym bag over here, some sports bag, or maybe a gym bag. So again you have to take the lasso tool from here. Maybe I'll keep it somewhere here. I'll just I've marked my space. Now again you can go to edit, you can go to generative fill, and this time I have to give a prompt because I just don't want it to fill it with anything. I want a gym bag. I'm specific about what I want. Maybe I can even give the color red color gym bag. Let's see what it generates. So as you can see, we actually got a red color gym bag over here, which is pretty cool. Again, you have variations, so you can check out which is better. I think this is better. Oh my god, see this they have placed it behind this sand dune or wave or whatever. So you just it's actually calculating the depth of the image also. So I think rather than the first one, the second one and the third one is also pretty good. I like the third one. I think the third one feels more natural. So now let's just try doing the generative expand. So for that we just have to expand the pic first. So let's just expand it a bit. Yeah. So again you have so it's done. Now you have to give the generative expand. Let's just generate without giving any prompt. So as you can see, it has extended or expanded the image. Again, we have 3 variations over here. This is another one. This is another one. Okay. The first one here, the trees are too cluttered. The third one also looks good, but then this wall, or I think it's a wall. Yeah, it's not being extended. I think this is more better than all the 3. Now let's just try out in the rest of the images also. Let's just see what it does to this image. So let's just try expanding it upwards, vertically. So we don't have to write any prompt, just hit generate. As you can see, it actually extended it pretty well, because we all had the photo only till here, right? As far as I remember, it was only till here, but then it has actually extended the construction, this particular building, all the windows, and it has actually extended the bicycle lane also, which is pretty good. Again, we have 3 variations for it. The second variation looks better. This is in the third variation they have actually guessed it, because we had the the original photo only till this portion. So the third photo they have just guessed it as a kind of roof. Sorry, that was the third pic. In third pic it was kind of roof, and in the second pic they have extended the building. The first pick, they have decided to keep the sky. So yes, this is what generative fill can do, especially while expanding. Next, let's see how to, recover an old photograph. So I'm pretty sure that most of us would be having, most of our families would be having, such photographs, old photographs of our grandparents or whomever. So let's see how using Photoshop, how you can recover an old as well as tone pic like this. So as you can see, there are so many tone markings over here, like there are plenty. So first, let's just take the lasso tool. We have taken the selection brush. The brush size is pretty big, so let me just, decrease the size. I think this would be fine. Should I decrease again? This is pretty fine. Let me just think this is fine. So now I just have to, highlight the markings. Actually, it's going through the middle of the face, so I'm not pretty sure how well it will generate. Let's see. There are some tearings over here. Okay, I think everything is marked. Now let's go to edit. Let's go to generative fill. We don't have to give a prompt. Let's just generate it like that. Oh wow, how cool is it? Again, we have different variations. I mean, I didn't expect such a good quality generate variations also. It has done 100% justice to this photo. That's what I believe. Okay, now this is all, but again the eyebrow, the part of the eyebrow is a bit distorted. Yeah, actually all the three are pretty good. I think the first one is the best. Yes. You can also select more of these and generate it. Now for small tweaks, we can actually go to the healing brush over here. Just a second. Repeat. So to tweak further, you can also go to the healing brush over here, and you can just clear these out. For example, like this, you can just tweak it. So this is basically the healing brush that most of the editing apps have nowadays. So with this spot healing brush, you can tweak small corrections like this. Yeah, I think it's fine. I mean, this is how you do it. Okay. Yeah. So that was it, guys. Congratulations on completing the Adobe Firefly course. We've explored the powerful world of AI-driven creativity, learning how to generate, edit, and enhance images with Firefly's intuitive tools. So whether you are designing unique artwork, crafting eye-catching graphics, or streamlining your workflow, you now have the skills to bring your creative visions to life. All the best.
Hi there, if you like this video, subscribe to the Simplilearn YouTube channel and click here to watch similar videos. To nerd up and get certified, click here.